Q6143, which is one of the ways in which anxiety will a learner. A. Anxiety may limit the learner's ability to learn from perceptions. B. Anxiety will speed up the learning process for the learner if properly controlled and by the instructor. C. Anxiety causes dispersal of the learner's attention over such a wide range of matters as to interfere with normal reactions. The correct answer is A. Anxiety may limit the learner's ability to learn from perceptions. When a learner is experiencing anxiety, it can have a negative impact on their ability to effectively process and learn from their perceptions or sensory inputs. Anxiety can lead to a heightened state of arousal, which can interfere with cognitive processes and attentional focus. Under anxiety, learners may find it difficult to concentrate and maintain attention on the task at hand. Their minds may be preoccupied with worry, fear, or negative thoughts, which can distract them from accurately perceiving and interpreting information. This can result in decreased awareness of relevant cues or details necessary for learning. Furthermore, anxiety can impair working memory and cognitive processing. Learners may have difficulty organizing and integrating new information, as anxiety can disrupt their ability to think clearly and logically. This can hinder their ability to make connections, draw conclusions, and retain information effectively. Importantly, anxiety can also impact the emotional state of the learner, leading to increased stress and negative effect. This emotional distress can further impede learning by creating a negative learning environment and interfering with motivation and engagement. 6143-1. The accurate perception and understanding of all the factors and conditions within the four fundamental risk elements that affect safety is called A. Aeronautical Decision Making. B. Single Pilot Resource Management. C. Situational Awareness. The correct answer is C. Situational awareness is the accurate perception and understanding of all the factors and conditions within the four fundamental risk elements that affect safety. Situational awareness refers to the ability to comprehend and accurately assess the current situation, including the environment, aircraft status, and external factors. It involves being aware of relevant information, understanding its meaning and significance, and being able to anticipate future developments. By maintaining situational awareness, pilots can effectively monitor and assess the risks and hazards associated with their flight operations. They can recognize potential threats, make informed decisions, and take appropriate actions to mitigate risks and ensure safety. Situational awareness encompasses various aspects, such as monitoring weather conditions, assessing aircraft performance, tracking traffic and airspace information, and staying updated on navigational and operational factors. It requires attention to detail, effective information processing, and the ability to integrate multiple sources of information. Overall, situational awareness is crucial for pilots to maintain a clear understanding of the factors that affect their safety and make informed decisions to mitigate risks. It is an essential component of safe aeronautical decision-making and effective single-pilot resource management, SPRM. 6143-2. What systematic approach to the mental process does the pilot consistently apply to take the best course of action in a given situation? A. Aeronautical Decision Making. B. Pilot Judgment Chain. C. Crew Resource Management. The correct answer is A. Aeronautical decision making is the systematic approach to the mental process that pilots consistently apply to take the best course of action in a given situation. Aeronautical decision making, ADM, involves a structured and logical process of assessing risks, analyzing options, and making informed decisions. It is a cognitive process that helps pilots evaluate various factors, such as weather conditions, aircraft performance, personal limitations, and regulatory requirements, to determine the most appropriate and safe course of action. 6145. Which statement is true concerning extraneous blocks of instruction during training? A. They are usually parts of the total objective. B. they detract from the completion of the final objective. C. They assist in the attainment of the lesson's objective. The correct answer is B. Extraneous blocks of instruction during a lesson of training detract from the completion of the final objective. When conducting a training lesson, it is important to focus on the specific objective or goals that need to be achieved. Extraneous blocks of instruction refer to any additional or unrelated material that is not directly relevant to the main objective of the lesson. These blocks of instruction can be distracting and take away valuable time and attention from the intended learning outcome. By introducing extraneous blocks of instruction, the learner's focus may be diverted, and their understanding and retention of the main objective may be compromised. It can lead to confusion, overload of information, and a lack of clarity in achieving the desired outcome. Therefore, the statement that extraneous blocks of instruction detract from the completion of the final objective is true. To ensure effective and efficient training, it is essential to avoid introducing unrelated or unnecessary material that hinders the progress towards achieving the intended learning outcomes. 6146. Development and assembly of blocks of learning in their proper relationship will provide a means for A. Both the instructor and learner to easily correct faulty habit patterns. B. Challenging the learner by progressively increasing the units of learning. C. Allowing the learner to master the overall pilot performance requirements individually and combining these with other related segments. The correct answer is C. The development and assembly of blocks of learning in their proper relationship will provide a means for allowing the learner to master the components of the overall pilot performance requirements individually and then combining these with other related segments. When structuring a training program or lesson, it is important to break down the learning objectives into manageable blocks or segments. These blocks of learning focus on specific skills, knowledge, or tasks that need to be mastered by the learner. By organizing these blocks in a logical and progressive manner, the learner can work on mastering each component individually before integrating them into a more comprehensive performance. By approaching the learning process in this way, the learner can develop a solid foundation and understanding of each component before moving on to more complex tasks. This step-by-step progression allows for incremental learning and ensures that the learner is well prepared to tackle the overall pilot performance requirements. Therefore, the statement that the development and assembly of blocks of learning in their proper relationship allow the learner to master the components of the overall pilot performance requirements individually and combining these with other related segments is true. It provides a structured and effective approach to learning, ensuring a strong foundation and gradual progression towards mastery.